This tree here that looks like an alder is actually a hazelnut tree. Most of the time, by this time of the year, the squirrels have gotten them all. We're lucky to find some at all. Oh, we do have a few here. There you go. These are covered with tiny little spines on them, so you got to be careful how you grab them. It's not that bad, but still they are a bit of an annoyance. You can see a little hole here, so there's chances are a worm has gotten to it. I'm going to see if we can grab this one, see if we can find any more, and we'll check them out once we get to camp. Oh, there's another one right here. Look up here. I don't know the technical term of it. We call it a bird's nest. Basically when you have a clump of small branches growing out of a main branch. That is my favorite way of prepping for fire. Well, you don't have to cut pieces of wood into smaller pieces. It's all in one bundle. Basically, if you can get one that's low enough, all you have to do, cut the branch off, bring it in, and you have everything you need to start a really good fire. It works pretty good when it's wet too, because it's evergreen, so it has oils in it, and it burns really well. Absolutely fantastic any time of the year to start your fires. You've probably seen this before if you watch a lot of these outdoor videos, but these little mushrooms, best to dry them out. This one a little bit damp, but holds an ember fantastically. If you put a spark on that, especially when it's nice and dry, basically it can smolder for hours. It's pretty cool. You can find them just anywhere on dying trees, mostly on hardwood. That's where you would find them. Here, most we don't. The main reason we came down today was mostly just to have a nice relaxing day. We knew we didn't have to harvest a lot of wood. There was plenty from the last spring and winter, and also a lot of deadfall along the way. I wanted to make sure our site was in good shape, and it seems to be for the most part. It's pretty open, a couple of deadfalls here and there, but there's nothing major. We were thinking about having a little cookout, but it dawned on us that we didn't have a way of putting out the fire. So and we thought about these bags that we bring in with us wherever we go for our carry out. Everybody should always have something to carry out your garbage. Then we have a little spring, a little runoff at the bottom, so able to double them up together, fill it full of water, and we can have our fire, and can go up, back down there and fill it up as many times as we need, so we know that we can leave the spot nice and safe. What we're working on here is one of the least useful outdoorsman's tools. You'll see in a few minutes. And there we have it. Going. Cheers. I just wasted 20 minutes. Just to show how frugal I am, this axe was given to me by a friend. Moving out, and in his old barn he had a rusted old axe head. Just threw in a bunch of dark vinegar and some white vinegar and molasses. Took about 48 hours of soaking. Came out, took most of the rust off, scrubbed the rest of it off with an SOS pad, and it's a little bit of a grinder later. Myself a pretty good axe. But that's not all that tags me as frugal. My axe head cover is my old leather jacket that Sandra absolutely hated. Cut it off right at the end. Little fishing line. My first ever pretty cruddy sewing job. There we go. Also use it as a pouch where I keep tinder in there. So this is a coniferous forest, meaning it's evergreens, and basically the whole ground is a lot of accumulation of pine needles and branches. In dry times it can be extremely dangerous for any fire that you make, so you got to make sure you take proper precautions. We've been having fires here for the last few years. We know we've dug it out before. As you can see underneath, it's all basically dirt at this point. Everything is burnt out, so we make sure that we build our fires in an extremely safe manner to make sure that we don't cause any forest fires. So we don't need a big fire. Nice warm day, we're not spending the night. What we basically want to do is get basically the fire going so that we can get some coals ready to cook our supper. For the most part, this is all softwood, so ideally to find hardwood is kind of the priority. Luckily we have some that we've cut before that was basically dead standing. Pretty rare to find, but we have some, which is great. So basically get our fire started with some small kindling, and then we'll be throwing on the hardwood to get a nice bit of coal so we can get our supper going. I'm really enjoying the most useless invention for an outdoorsy person. Perfect. As mentioned earlier, most of these trees are evergreens, and what we have kind of pre-cut are all these types of evergreen trees. They're very, very difficult to split. Oddly enough, when they're frozen, it's actually easier. It tends to break apart, pop off. Almost there. It's all twisted. Line. Coming this way. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we're getting some grumblings in the background. Sounds like thunder. Sounds like a lot of thunder. We're not at the highest point. A bit high up, but we'll play it by ear. If it gets worse, we might hold up down bottom where that little creek was. Brought a little chart. We can sit under that. I think they might miss us altogether, but play it safe. Along with the birch bark, there's also tons of old man's beard. A lot of it's pretty dry. We're going to use them in a combination. Gonna try the old flint, see how it works. Got the Mora knife, nothing fancy, it's a base model almost. I grinded the back to have a nice sharp edge so that it works with the flint. See how it works out. What we're looking at here is one of the most bland edibles you can find. I don't know their nutritional value. I can't really honestly say either way. I don't think it's great, but it is an edible food. Most of the time when you find them, there'll be little bushes like this, usually 4 leaves, but it does vary. I mean, there's one here that had a lot more. But it's usually 4 leaves. As you can see, kind of a teardrop pattern. The fruit grow in these types of bunches. Usually at the top, you have the 4 leaves underneath. They're perfectly edible. There's no bad taste to them. There's no good taste to them. There's practically 0 flavor. But, in a pinch, makes a good edible. Little tiny seed in the middle. Fine to eat them. No problems at all.
Well, we're gonna get our delicious steaks ready. We couldn't really get the cut that we wanted, but we got the next best thing, so I'm gonna put some BTC spice on it. We've had it before, it's pretty good, but we haven't had it on a fire, so we're gonna see what it tastes like. So while we're waiting for our coals to get ready, we're just gonna let this marinate. Get all the flavors into our steak. Alright, now we let the spice do its job.
So it looks like our fire has burnt down to a nice bed of coals here. We're going to take out our little grill and we're going to get those steaks ready. Can't wait because I'm starving. Whew, a lot of heat. Here's our grill. I have no idea where we got this.
Probably dollar store.
If it's a dollar store, it's a freaking fantastic deal. Comes with the legs. Awesome. we go. Perfect. Let's get those steaks ready. Oh no. That is looking fine. That's a little bit overdone.
Yep. Yeah, this one's good.
No sense in dirtying two plates. Mmm. Oh, good. Mmm.
Mmm. It is good. That one's. I guess you don't want it. But...
Usually like mine rare. A little bit red. Spices though. Mmm. Really good. A little bit of rain, nothing major. Hoping it doesn't get worse. It should be okay. It looks like there's blue sky here and there. Anyway, we're hoping it's going to be alright. We have a tarp, but for steak and I'm too lazy. Steak. Steak. For today we're just going to hang out here, finish our meal, and sit by the fire. Enjoy our libations on our fancy beer holders.
Homemade.
Homemade.
Or camp
Homemade.
made.
Yep. Camp made beer holders.
Outdoorsy beer holders.
I don't have a website, so they're not for sale. But just gonna hang out here, and if anything of interest happens, we'll try to get it on camera. Thanks a lot for coming along. Spicy.
I didn't think I put that much.
Yeah, I saw you putting it on like.
But the other spice.
Well, you know what you're doing.
The other spice I pile it on. It's just this one's spicy. Yes, I will know. What?
Bug.
I bet you it wasn't a bug. I bet you it was a piece of wood.
No, bug.
Ah! Fuck! Something just. That spark. Something just stung me on the knee.
almost forgot our hazelnut. Try to open this up. I pretty much assume that it's gonna be, it's gonna have the worm in it, but we're gonna take a look. I used to eat these all the time when I was a kid. I hadn't seen them in years. So there's a little hole there, so that tells me there's likely a worm in it. Yep. Yeah, it's gone bad. As you can see, it's been eaten. I think the worm has left. Yeah, it ate the whole thing. So yeah, it's basically, if the squirrels haven't gotten it, that means there's likely a worm that got it. It's a shame. You really have to be on your guard to try to get these. I'm gonna try to open another one, but I highly doubt that there'd be anything in there. Oh yeah, I can see right there, right at the top. There's a hole in that one. Means a worm got to it. And this one's got a hole right there. So unfortunately, no hazelnut for us.